Imagine standing in your garage on a Saturday morning, the smell of fresh sawdust in the air, a pile of lumber at your feet, and the excitement of building something real. A table, a bench, a shelf you've been dreaming about for weeks. You spread out the plans you bought online, but as you trace the first few steps, confusion sets in. Measurements don't match. Steps are missing. A $50 board now feels like a mistake. And you think, am I doing something wrong? This is a reality for thousands of hobbyist woodworkers. But what if the problem wasn't you? What if it was the plans themselves? Have you ever wondered why some plans always leave you frustrated, while others seem to guide every cut perfectly? For decades, woodworkers have faced the same hidden obstacle: incomplete or untested plans. It doesn't matter how skilled you are, how precise your measurements, or how many tools you own. If the instructions skip steps, the whole project can fail. I've spent years studying why weekend projects stall. The insight is simple, yet rarely discussed. Many plans look professional but crumble under real-world conditions. Today, we'll break down what's actually included in a woodworking library that claims to have thousands of plans, what it leaves out, and whether a one-time fee, like $67, truly covers what you need to avoid wasted time, lumber, and frustration. By the end, you'll understand what works, what doesn't, and why. Pain Scenario 1, the half-built disaster. Picture this. You buy a plan for a shaker end table. The layout seems solid. You buy the wood. Saturday morning, you start cutting. By step 4, the joints don't line up. A dado is off by a fraction. A tenon won't fit. And suddenly your weekend project becomes a puzzle of wasted materials. Emotionally, it's draining. You start doubting your own skills, questioning if woodworking is really for you. The false conclusion many of us draw is that we just aren't good enough. The reality? The plan was never fully tested. Measurements were assumed, steps skipped, and diagrams left ambiguous. Your frustration isn't your fault. It's a systemic problem in how plans are created and marketed. Pain Scenario 2, the hidden costs. Now imagine attempting a larger project. A garden bench with built-in storage. You follow the plan. Materials lists don't match what you actually need. You make extra trips to the store, buying lumber you won't use, hardware that isn't specified, and tools you don't own. By the time the bench is finished or abandoned halfway, you've lost not just money, but weekends and momentum. The internal monologue is haunting. I must be doing something wrong. But again, the culprit isn't your skill. It's incomplete plans, the misleading promise that a published plan is ready to build when it often hasn't been physically constructed and verified. Pain Scenario 3, the search spiral. Another common trap, endless searching. You need a specific project, a corner cabinet, a custom bookshelf, or a compact workbench. You browse dozens of sites, Pinterest boards, and free PDFs. Hours slip by. Nothing fits your space or skill level. You compromise, improvising steps and dimensions. This leads to inconsistent results, frustration, and a growing sense that woodworking takes too much effort for too little reward. And here's what all three of these situations have in common. They stem from the same root problem. Plans that appear complete, but were never thoroughly tested in real workshops. The skipped steps, the mismeasured joints, the assumptions, they all converge to create wasted time, wasted material, and lost confidence. After years of repeating these mistakes, some woodworkers start asking a different question. What if there was a library of plans built and verified before reaching my hands? The idea isn't to magically simplify woodworking. It's to remove guesswork. Each project, from beginner shelves to advanced furniture, is tested physically, step by step. Materials lists are precise. Every cut and joint is verified. If a step is unclear, it's rewritten. Suddenly, the weekend isn't about improvising. It's about executing a proven path. The moment you realize this, the frustration starts to fade. You start seeing the difference between theory-based plans and workshop-tested instructions. Consider Rick, a retired electrician, in a Thursday workshop. He brought a half-built shaker end table from a plan he found online. The tenon dimensions were swapped, a $60 mistake in lumber. After following a verified, built-tested plan, he finished the table the next weekend. Every joint fit perfectly. The end result, a usable piece in half the time, no extra trips, no wasted wood. Or think about a woodworker with only a half garage space. He built a wall-mounted tool cabinet and a step stool using compact, verified plans. Both fit his tight workshop, both fit his budget, and both worked on the first try. These examples demonstrate a central insight. Having access to a reliable, pre-tested plan library changes everything. The learning curve is minimized, the cost of errors drops, and woodworking becomes enjoyable instead of frustrating. The lessons are clear. Incomplete plans are the silent time waster in woodworking. Physical testing and verification of each plan eliminate most common mistakes. Reliable materials lists prevent overspending and reduce trips to suppliers. A systemized library makes finding the right project fast and efficient. Having a pre-validated resource shifts your role from troubleshooting to executing, letting skill and creativity flourish. It's not about shortcutting woodworking. It's about avoiding preventable errors. If you've ever felt the frustration of a half-built project or lost weekends searching for plans that never work, consider this. What would it feel like to have access to thousands of verified, tested woodworking projects ready for your space, skill level, and tools? I'm curious, which project in your workshop has been sitting unfinished for months? Share it in the comments. And if you want to explore the kind of system that makes these results possible, I've left a reference in the description. It's a logical next step for any woodworker tired of wasted lumber and weekends.